the Pay Yourself First system. This system follows one simple rule: save first, spend later. Most people wait until the end of the month to save whatever is left. The problem is that there's usually nothing left. The Pay Yourself First system completely reverses that process. Imagine you earn $4,000 per month. The moment your paycheck arrives, you immediately transfer 10% to 20% into savings or investments. That's $400 to $800 before paying for anything else. Now you're forced to live on the remaining amount. At first, that sounds difficult, but something interesting happens. Most people quickly adapt their spending to match what's available. Instead of relying on willpower, you rely on a system. And that's why this method has helped countless people build wealth over time. But what if you want a complete blueprint for every dollar? That's where the next system comes in. Number 2, the 50-30-20 system. The 50-30-20 rule is one of the simplest budgeting systems ever created. It divides your income into 3 categories. 50% goes to needs, things like housing, food, transportation, insurance, and utilities. 30% goes to wants, dining out, hobbies, entertainment, vacations, and shopping. And 20% goes directly towards savings and investments. The reason this system works is balance. It doesn't force you to live like a monk. It allows you to enjoy life while still making consistent financial progress. But some people need something even more visual. That's where the next system shines. Number 3, the envelope system. This system has been around for decades, and despite all the budgeting apps in the world, it still works. You divide your money into categories: food, gas, entertainment, clothing. Then you assign a fixed amount to each category. Imagine your monthly restaurant budget is $200. Once that envelope is empty, you're done spending in that category. No borrowing, no credit cards, no excuses. The envelope system creates awareness because every dollar has a clear destination. Many people discover that they aren't actually bad with money. They simply never tracked where it was going. And speaking of small expenses, the next system turns everyday purchases into automatic savings. Number 4, the rounding up system. This system takes advantage of something powerful: tiny amounts that don't feel painful. Here's how it works. Let's say you buy lunch for $13. You round the purchase up to $20. The extra $7 goes into savings. Buy something for $42? Round it to $50. Save $8. A few dollars here and there doesn't seem important, but consider how many purchases you make every month. 50 purchases, 100 purchases, maybe even more. Those small amounts begin stacking up surprisingly fast. And because the transfers are tiny, they rarely feel like sacrifices. But what about the purchases you never make? That's where the next system becomes incredibly powerful. Number 5, the reverse savings system. Most people celebrate when they avoid an impulse purchase. Then they move on. The reverse saving system goes one step further. Every time you decide not to buy something, you transfer that exact amount into savings or investments. Imagine you're about to buy a pair of sneakers for $150. Then you decide you don't actually need them. Instead of doing nothing, you immediately invest that $150. Now your self-control produces a visible reward. The more temptations you avoid, the larger your investment account becomes. This creates a positive feedback loop. Saving starts feeling like winning, not sacrificing. And if impulse buying is one of your biggest challenges, the next system was practically designed for you. Number 6, the 24-hour rule system. Have you ever bought something and regretted it the next day? Most people have. That's because many purchases are emotional, not logical. The 24-hour rule is simple. Any non-essential purchase must wait 24 hours. No exceptions. You see something you want? Wait until tomorrow. If you still want it after 24 hours, buy it. What surprises most people is how often the desire disappears. The excitement fades. The item suddenly seems less important. This single rule can eliminate hundreds or even thousands of dollars in unnecessary spending every year. But let's assume your income starts increasing. That's where many people accidentally stay broke. Number 7, the salary increase system. Most people get a raise and immediately increase their lifestyle. Better restaurants, more subscriptions, a nicer car, more shopping. Soon, the raise disappears. This is called lifestyle inflation. The salary increase system prevents it. Imagine you receive a raise worth $500 extra per month. Instead of spending all $500, you save $400 and allow yourself only $100 in additional spending. You still enjoy your success, but most of the increase goes toward building wealth. This is one of the reasons some people become financially independent despite earning average incomes. They save most of their raises instead of spending them. Now let's talk about giving your savings a purpose. Number 8, the separate goals system. One giant savings account can feel vague. You save money, then eventually spend it, then save again. The purpose becomes unclear. The separate goal system solves this problem. Create multiple accounts. one for emergencies, one for a future home, one for a car, one for vacations, one for investments. Now every dollar has a mission. Psychologically, this changes everything. You're no longer tempted to spend money randomly because each dollar already has a job. People tend to protect goal-oriented savings much more than general savings. And if you'd like to save money without constantly thinking about it, the next system is surprisingly effective. Number 9, the no-spend day system. This system doesn't require complicated budgeting. It simply requires choosing specific days where you spend absolutely nothing. Maybe every Monday. Maybe every Monday and Wednesday, maybe every weekend. On those days, no takeout, no online shopping, no impulse purchases, nothing. At first, it sounds restrictive, but most people quickly realize how many expenses happen out of habit rather than necessity. The goal isn't suffering, it's awareness. And once you become aware of unnecessary spending patterns, changing them becomes much easier. Finally, we arrive at the most powerful long-term system on this list. Number 10, the 1% system. This system focuses on tiny improvements. Every month, reduce your expenses by just 1%. That's it. Maybe you cancel a streaming service you never watch. Maybe you remove an old subscription. Maybe you switch banks and eliminate fees. Maybe you negotiate an insurance bill. Each change seems insignificant, but over time, small improvements compound, exactly like investments do. 1% this month, another percent next month, then another. Years later, you may find hundreds of dollars per month that used to disappear without adding value to your life. And that's the hidden truth about saving money. The people who build wealth aren't necessarily smarter, they aren't necessarily luckier, and they don't always earn more. They simply create systems that make saving automatic. Whether it's the pay yourself first system, the 50-30-20 rule, the envelope system, or the 1% system, the best saving system is the one you'll actually use. Pick one today, start this week, and a year from now, your future self will thank you for it.